She was preceded in death by her stepfather, Shelton Prather, who Enola had married later on.
Right.
Our deepest sympathy for this young lady.
She went to high school about the same age as my brother and Robbie Fontenot, John Fontenot's son, and all that crew. They're all about that same age.
Okay.
She was a sweetheart.
Retailers reported solid gains for September, trying to bring some positive. If you just listen to the news and radio and television and just anything, so many negatives, but the revenues rose 5.5%, and it beat the Wall Street estimates. And hopefully October would show some good results. In September, the big three auto dealers had large increases of 20% plus gains. So all this doom and gloom is not necessarily, and a lot of what the stock market does has nothing to do with what's really going on in this country. It might be that Greece is having another cough. They cough it one more time before they die. And it throws everything off on the stock market. But here in Acadiana, things are pretty darn good, I would say.
I saw some numbers this morning. They said, Amazon.com didn't make as much money as they made in the past. But I looked at those numbers real close. Their sales were up about 50%. The reason why they didn't make as much money is because they're adding more warehouses. They're adding more infrastructure. They see the thing is starting to pick up. So they're investing right now. While the money's rolling in, they're investing so they can keep growing. So just because the profits don't look like they're perfect, look at the little details. These companies are all growing right now.
Baton Rouge resumed the Mississippi River cruise tours. So if you've never taken one of those and you were thinking about it, they were discontinued for a number of years. They're now back in operation.
Welcome back, KSLO.
You get to see the cities that build up along the river from the river itself, and then they stop, like in Natchez, Mississippi. They'll let you down. You walk around, see all the antebellum homes, all the beautiful.
Go up to Memphis.
Yep. You can go to Biscuits and Blues while you're in and eat good food with Peter Trosclair. His father was from right here in Opelousas, Louisiana.
There's a rumor that Missouri University is going to join the SEC. If that happens, well, of course, St. Louis is right in their wheel well. So maybe you'll want to ride the boat, go up to St. Louis for the Missouri game, and FLSU plays Missouri on certain years. Let me tell you.
How about that?
St. Louis is a beautiful town. You've been there before. You tour they got the big Budweiser plant, the home office is there, and they got all the different, the big archway.
I see where the Melba Toast Factory has reopened in New Orleans.
That's kind of interesting, huh?
Granddaughters have taken the business over and I never gave it much thought, but I love the Melba Toast. I really do.
Very popular, and you saw it everywhere in this area. Swallows Dinner Club when I was a little boy.
Always had it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully it's going to be back as one of the gives a little freebies you get when you walk into your favorite restaurants across the nation, of course. This was a big business that kind of went downhill, but reopened. Met a young man, Trey Laverne. He's a Walmart driver. I met him over at K-June's picking up some gas for his vehicle, and I was doing the same. And he watches the program, and he lives near Church Point, Louisiana. Good morning to the Trey Laverne family.
I stopped there the other day. Boy, they really have redone the inside of that building. Nice at K-June's. And the convenience store side, I walked in and got a bottle of water. I mean, it was nice.
Mr. Arney, the owner, called me. He's interested in possibly buying that lot next door to me.
That's right. You still own that corner.
I still own the corner there, and also some farm property that I own. So I spoke to him yesterday afternoon.
There you go.
Well, if you're watching the program on Thursday, it was 2 days ago.
Now you got it.
Louisiana leads the nation in NFL players per capita. This happened.
Really incredible.
This was printed in September, and we talked about it, but we never did mention it. Quite incredible that leads the nation in NFL players per capita.
LSU's got around 35 players, I think, that are active right now playing. 35. So I mean, they could almost suit up an entire NFL team just with LSU players. And that doesn't count, UL's got quite a few players that are playing. McNeese has got some. And then a lot of these kids, went to, say, USC, went to Texas A&M, all these other schools too, but they're from Louisiana originally. So, I mean, it's 65 plus from the state of Louisiana that are playing.
talked about the boxes right here. Notice the spotlight chambers for October, and of course we're getting towards the end of the month here. We noticed you spoke about the LHC group already.
Sure did.
Paula Mills is the spotlight chairman and chamber board member, and they participate each month. They pick out some businesses of the month, and just to let you know, we always mention that LHC group participates all kinds of ways in all the communities they have businesses in. They're very, very supportive of the local. And I noticed that the Household Hazardous Waste Day is right around the corner. That's going to be next Saturday, November the 5th. And that's St. Landry Parish Recycling Centers here on West Landry in Opelousas and on Dusson Street in Eunice. Opelousas will be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eunice will be 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Plenty of time to bring all those old paint, old batteries, household chemicals, and still watch the LSU-Alabama game that night.
There you go. And participants must show proof of residency.
Just that you live in the parish.
Driver's license or water bill or something to that effect. And it's not for the commercial. This is household goods and a very, very good program. I want to thank them, Mr. Catra and Mr. Velton Stelly, who are working hard to make this an annual event. I know this is at least the second annual time they've had that, and that's good. Girl Scouting is going to be celebrating 100 years. They're going to have a 100th birthday. And area girls will join 250,000 others for this celebration. And that's going, I'm not sure when this is taking place. It didn't say when it was taking place, but it's coming, let's see, for this coming year's 100.
Right.
It'll be next year, apparently. And Girl Scouts is the largest educational organization for girls in the world. Never heard that put together.
My mother was a Girl Scout. Her troop leader was Normally Sashry Dupre when she was a little girl.
Really?
How's that grab you?
Good morning, Normally and John.
Morning.
Hopefully they're watching the television there. By the way, John is still resting very well. He loves when company goes to meet him. You know, it makes some long days when you laying in bed or in the house. So he would love to see all of his friends, or give him a call on the telephone for that matter. He's listed in the telephone book. John Dupre Sr. Okay, and
you want to congratulate? We got a new superintendent. We got Donnie Perron. Coach Donnie Perron has been appointed this week as interim, not full-time.
Not full-time,
To try to get them past the gap with all the turnover they have. Want to wish him a lot of luck and hope everybody can work together, because I know there's a lot of volatility right now at the school board. We want to hope everybody can work together to bring the kids forward.
I spoke with him late Tuesday afternoon. He said he had that was like his first day, and really had a good day. Everybody has assured him that they're going to work to keep the system rolling and maybe take care of some of the things that were not working just properly. I want to wish the Nassif family, Mike and his family, nothing but success in the future. He's got some health issues, according to the latest that I read, and I hope it's nothing serious. And he served our community and our parish very well for many years.
Got us past the federal lawsuit.
That's correct. That was a big thing that started in 1969. I think it was one. That's correct. Civic Champion Honor. That's another thing we forgot to mention. The Pat Miller Memorial Highway was dedicated a while back, and we forgot to make a mention of that. Pat Miller was just a real good person, very interested in representing his constituents, and of course now his daughter has the position, and I understand she's
Fakisha Miller Matthews
is the daughter of the honoree. And so, sorry it took me a while to get that, but some of these things just get kind of, everyday life. Now, rice is being harvested at the present time, as well as sweet potatoes we mentioned earlier.
Yes,
soybeans.
Right around the corner.
It's
coming out
right now. And in sugarcane is being harvested when we went down. When you go down to the point
Lydia and all.
and you go through Lydia and all that, that's the crop over there. St. Mary Parish probably raises more sugarcane than any other parish in the state. China rice sales could be a game changer. So that's something that the Ag Department is working on, is to get larger amounts of rice to be shipped over to China.
Commissioner Strain reelected pretty easily as well.
Yeah, that's correct. So he'll be there to kind of push this along, this sale. And pecan price, God, they're paying $1.25 already for pecans.
There's a lot of pecans, but they're small because the rain didn't come at the right time, so they're not as heavy as usual is what they're saying, because where the drought fell late summer, but there's still a lot coming out, so
Vicky's mama buys pecans over in Bordelonville, and she's paying $1.25 a pound, and she has a little bitty building that she buys them out of, and she calls that the Pecan Palace. Good morning, Miss Marilyn and Mr. Jacob. Hope y'all are listening to the program on the Bobby Dupre Show on 105.3 over there.
All them old guitros came out of Paconya, so we know about pecans too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Paconya.
That's right.
End of an era. We forgot to talk about Mr. Andy Rooney retiring.
And since his retirement, yesterday, I don't know if you saw this on the news last night, he's in the hospital with some health issues right now.
Oh, come on.
They must have known there was some surgery he was going to have done, and he went in, and evidently there was some complications. So he's in the hospital. I don't know how that's going.
I hate to hear that.
But I think that was part of the reason he was retiring.
That's why I'm not retiring.
No, why retire?
Why retire and then maybe end up in the hospital or something like that?
And when I retire, you can drive me around.
I'll be glad to do that for you. But anyhow, on the 60-minute program, you just, even though you maybe had a little something else to do or whatever, you wanted to hear his remarks at the end.
He was always ornery, always... I don't know why they do that. I don't like that too much. He always would complain about something going on.
But still interesting, still very interesting. He liked to talk about things from way back. Comment about things, how things were way back compared to today.
And he was a World War II correspondent. I mean, went some heavy combat situations where he was covering the news. I mean, tough guy.
Here's the article that I spoke about earlier. Welcome to Washington.
The steamboats and all.
The steamboats right there, and the old antique schoolhouse that is visited by many, many people throughout the area. And so I wasn't joking about that. This is a copy of it right here.
Well, we're down to a minute left. Maybe
we are
you want to find your little notes?
Okay. The Sunset dedicated its town hall recently, and we forgot to mention that. Mayor Cecil Laverne, of course, is shown in the picture along with longtime former mayor, Mr. John Olivier. And they have a good progressive town. Sunset is growing, and I understand that the new town hall is really, really nice. Our thought for today, we always ask you to consider attending the church of your choice this weekend. My Lord and God, I trust only you bless and increase my faith. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Andrew, for the assistance.
Thank you, Chief.